What makes dinosaurs so special aside from their peculiar traits and their popularity? But this peculiar dinosaur is special for a particular reason. This is a Diplodocus, a medium-sized sauropod that existed during the Jurassic period. Now, sauropods, they come in all different shapes and sizes. As you can see, our spiky friend here has a bunch of spikes all over him. However, there are smaller cousins of the sauropods, such as this gorgeous Amargasaurus. As you can see, they have a lot more spikes on their neck. But sadly, we're not here for either of these two today, since today we're focusing on the most popular of their species. And today, it is the biggest, well, potentially, but most certainly one of the more popular sauropods. It is the Brachiosaurus. As you can see, we seem to be appearing at a herd of 5 Brachiosauruses. Brachiosauruses live in herds, usually smaller members. That's why there's only 5 here. But sometimes there are rare cases where Brachiosauruses have thrived in big herds. But usually, most of the time, it's usually these slow, loose connecting herds like this one. Currently on the island, there are 3 different kinds of Brachiosauruses currently discovered on this island. We have a brown version right here, then a slightly more lighter brown one. The most unique one and common one, however, is the beautiful green one. Now, despite the colors, it's currently unknown if Brachiosauruses used colors to deter sex, or at least to show off against other males. But right now we can assume that these colors were at least used for display for both sexes. Now you see, Brachiosauruses, they are quite majestic creatures. And also, there are currently 3 females here and 2 males. One male is green, the other is brown. So it looks like this herd is a pretty decent herd. However, thanks to the Brachiosaurus' massive size, it'll actually deter most predators from attacking them. Since predators are not just mindless killers, they know when to not bite off too much they can chew. And in this case of the Baryonyx right here, she is quickly intimidated by their size, so she runs off to look for fish in a nearby stream instead. However, sadly, this does not mean all predators are not willing to attack Brachiosauruses, since some predators actually have the boldness to do so. This is a Yangchuanosaurus, a deadly carnivore discovered in the Asian continents of China. There is a male and a female here, and they seem to be targeting this peculiar brown male. The female quickly sneaks up on it, and so does her mate. They're currently creeping up on the Brachiosaurus, biding their time. Without any further hesitation, they attack. Unfortunately, the Brachiosaurus saw it coming. Thanks to his long neck, he can easily see and smell and hear predators from quite a long distance. But before he could finish her off, the male is grabbed onto one of the front male Brachiosaurus' legs. The male's got a firm hold on the Brachiosaurus' leg, as the female seemingly gets up to get her revenge. The female has a good hold on the base of the tail, as the male is clinging onto the leg. The Brachiosaurus is currently stuck, but luckily for him, Brachiosauruses always look out for each other. He shakes off the female. The angry and enraged bull male Brachiosaurus turns to the other male Yangchuanosaurus to finish him off. Now, because of the Brachiosaurus' 50-ton weight, they can easily crush any opponent with those massive elephant-like feet of theirs. The male bellows in victory, as he's just killed one of the predators that attempted to eat him. The female, flabbergasted and flustered, but also pretty frustrated, she has no choice but to run away, since her mate is now dead. As the male Brachiosaurus lives on to see another day. Around 4 years has passed since that incident. However, sadly, it has also came to a term that must happen eventually to all animals. You see, the two males in the herd are now challenging each other for the female's rights to mate. You see, every season or so, male animals across far and wide, dinosaurs or not, they will always grow up into bull males or females, and that's why they must fight to get the rights to mating. And thus, that is why these two once friends now have to become each other's foes. So, they attack. You can see they're using their giant bodies to ram into each other. And you see the rules are, whoever falls is dubbed the loser, and the one who stands is victorious. So one or the other male has to be on their toes, literally, to prevent one or the other falling. The brown male seems to be getting advantage of the green male. That's when the green male makes a winning move with a swift attack. You see, Brachiosaurus, they're not afraid to bite their opponents if they get too frustrated with their opponent's power. But the other male retaliates by biting him in the neck. But then eventually, the green male has just fallen, and sadly, he is now lost. The brown male is victorious, and now he is dubbed the alpha of this herd. As for the green male, now being the alpha, the brown male banishes the green male out of the herd to never return. Until the green male is ready to give it another shot. Sadly, from now on, it looks like he'll forever be alone out there in the great unknown. Another year has passed, and it looks like a new generation is already beginning for the herd. You see, every year, once a crown is given to an alpha, he will proceed to mate with all of the females in the herd, producing eggs, which will then hatch into more hatchlings, and then become the new generation of this herd. Though sadly, just like modern-day turtles, once they lay their eggs, they leave them. However, unlike turtles, they will eventually return, but sadly, not until at least when the eggs hatch, leaving them vulnerable to predator attacks. As you can see, it has already been a week since the herd left the eggs to nurture in the sun. Sadly, because of their bright white coloring and the fact that they hardly put up any nests, or at least any camouflage, a predator has already sniffed them out. Yes, it is the same female Yangchuanosaurus from 5 or 6 years ago that attacked the brown male. She smells out and checks out the nests. Seems like no one is in sight, So she eats the eggs, at least in this brood. Luckily, there's too many eggs for all predators to eat them, and some are actually hidden, but sadly, these 3 unlucky eggs are sadly eaten alive. As the female Yangchuanosaurus, feeling proud, she walks away in triumph. Another 4 weeks pass, and the babies have arrived in the world intact. Though sure, they've survived their egg stages, but sadly for these young hatchlings, they are currently defenseless, and they need their parents for protection. That is why they must wait here until their parents return, to come and see their faces for the first time, and to give them the nurture and love and protection they need, because sadly, being so small comes with the downsides. The female Yangchuanosaurus returns. She sees the babies, and she instantly starts going after them. The female has snatched up one of the babies, and she prepares to eat it. The babies run from this freaking killer. The female has gobbled up another one. But luckily for the babies, help has just arrived. Sadly, they've lost 2, but at least 3 survived. And now it is time for them to get their revenge. But sadly, being much slower, the female Yangchuanosaurus quickly outruns them. But thankfully, the 3 hatchlings have been saved. Now with their babies intact, the Brachiosauruses must migrate somewhere else in order to be more safe for their herd and to get more plentiful food, since as you can see the area is quite dense and dry. So in the span of a couple of days, if not weeks or even a month or 2, the Brachiosaurus must travel, if not hundreds or thousands of miles across the north or the south borders of the island, in order to get to more plentiful areas. But finally, after 10 days, the Brachiosauruses have found their destination, and now the pain is finally over, as for another seasons or so, they will lie here, in the dense jungle, where they can now forever munch on leaves and plant matter until their hearts consent. But sadly, there are still predators here, but with their massive weight and their massive loyalty to each other, they can easily protect what's important to them.